Hey guys, it's summertime, and one of the funnest ways to catch fish is on a floating frog. Most anybody that bass fishes is probably throwing one, and we see tournaments get one on them. Guys out fun fishing. I see people on the bank throwing them on a spinning rod, which I'm kind of amazed they even land them on. But a frog is a fun bait to fish. It's so animated, it's hopping along. It looks like something alive, and they want to get a hold of it. So, you know, a few things I do with a frog though. For one, I cut the legs a little bit shorter. I don't like really long legs unless you're bed fishing. You know, the reason I use it bed fishing is because it keeps the bait in the same place for a long time when you're fishing open holes and they're spawning. But most of the time of the year, I like legs about the length of the bait. So depending on the size of your frog, legs that are about the same length as your bait, good rule of thumb. This here is a Z-Man frog. There's a ton of them out there. This one hooks them really well, one of my favorite frogs. But anyway, you know, it's important to have a frog that's going to collapse. You can see how much body there is to collapse here. And that's really important for hooking those fish well when you're selecting a frog. As far as colors go, keep it pretty simple. Blacks, browns, and a white belly. Shad spawn, white is always good, but that's a pretty unique situation. For the most part, you can go with a black frog most of the year. A black frog seems to always catch them when they're on top. Another thing that I use quite a bit is a smaller frog. A lot of the junior size frogs, you get a lot more bites on. You have the tendency or the potential to lose more fish because they have smaller hooks. But when you're fishing in open water, skipping it under docks, shaded trees, stuff like that, that smaller frog just gets more bites. I throw it on a 50-pound braid at the heaviest. Sometimes that smaller one I like to throw on 30 even. I just feel like I can cast it better and further. And really you're not going to break that braid. And another thing that a lot of people think is you need a really heavy frog rod. That's totally untrue. I like a rod that's going to load pretty well. It's more important to get that frog in those precise locations, shade, stuff like that, if you're not fishing over a hydrilla mat. And you know, that more limber rod that loads really well enables you to have more speed on the frog, cast it more accurately, and you really don't need a lot of horsepower to hook a fish on a frog. You need it to get them out a lot of times. And that's where with hydrilla you do need a really stiff frog rod if you're fishing open big fields of hydrilla. But a lot of the frog fishing that you see getting done today is under docks, under trees, open pads, stuff like that. You really don't need that heavy of a rod for it. And one last thing, take a little bit of mend it. You can use rubber cement, anything. The little hole on the bottom right here, I haven't done this one yet, I just took it out of the package, but if you take and fill that up, it's not going to enclose it entirely. There'll be a little bit of a hole there because you need some air to get out for it to collapse, but the frog's going to leak a whole lot less. You get more productive casts.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more fishing action.